This is my pitch for a new Stargate show. It would be called Stargate Nexus. It would take place 15 or 16 years after Universe, or however long it's been since Universe. Stargate Command has made things so safe politically and militarily off-world that when factions within the NID push to declassify the Stargate program, they can no longer argue against it. A new Stargate Command is set up on the Gamma site, aka Nexus. Nexus is meant to be the heart of a newer, more refined gate network. The show is about a new Stargate team, officially named Stargate Nexus 1 or SGN-1, but more often just called N1, as they go to different worlds shutting down gates on uninhabited or hostile worlds. They are trying to make gate travel more predictable and more controllable. Gates won't just let you go anywhere. The actions of N1 will cause conflict as they encounter hostile and allied forces that use the gateways for travel and commerce, who see issue with how Earth forces dictate how the gates are to be used. Corporate Earth companies will try to use the gate, and new religions will come in contact with Earth, changing it forever. Things will come to a head when an outside gate network from another galaxy comes in contact with the Milky Way. Non-human aliens will appear with their own agendas. Dealing with it all will be Nexus. Nexus is meant to function similar to an airport or train station, with several gates working within the main facility and around the planet. Joseph Joe Link, former NID operative who was one of the leading causes in making the Stargate program public. He would be the leader of Nexus's Stargate Command. He's young and jovial and often accompanies N1 on missions, much to the dismay of N1's leader. He championed to get the job as base leader so he could travel through the gate network whenever he wanted. He has a budding attraction and often teases the leader of N1, Amanda Mads Wolf. Lieutenant Colonel Amanda Wolf is the reserved, no-nonsense leader of Nexus 1. She is formerly a member of SG-1 mentored under Cameron Mitchell before being reassigned to Nexus. On the job, she is a consummate professional, well-versed in various military strategies and tactics, from the Goulds, Jaffa, Ori, and Tok'ra, having once been a host. She often butts heads with the leader of the SGN, who forces his way onto missions, but admires his adventurous spirit and has a mutual attraction for him, though she tries not to let it affect her command. Gilgamesh Mesh, an ancient Gould who forgoed the use of sarcophagus, seeing that it altered the others. Gilgamesh sought other forms of immortality, his quest being canonized in Earth legend. While in the legend he failed to find immortality, in truth he found it in the form of a robotic body that houses his symbiont form. He is found and woken by N1, who at first see him as a threat, but soon realizes that, like Joe, Gilgamesh too seeks adventure. He goes into long sleep so not to go mad from boredom, and decides he wishes to join N1 as a member. While Gilgamesh is not a sadist like other Gould, he is still somewhat arrogant and often belittles members of his team. Lyan, a hiveless wraith queen. Lil escaped through the Pegasus Gate to get away from her rivals. She seeks asylum, eventually joining N1. She takes a modified version of the medicine used in Stargate Atlantis to stave off her vampiric feeding. But during times of need, she will feed on members of the team to gain a boost in strength. Lyan is both regal and deadly, often serving as the team's and Nexus's diplomat alongside Joe. She eventually begins a romance with the team's medic and for a time becomes human to sire a child with him. Maxwell Creed. Former member of SG-2, Creed is a soldier and man. When working, he is professional, although less so than his commanding officer Wolf. He's the team's second in command and medic. He is often paired with Joe as a bodyguard, which causes them to gain a friendship. Gilgamesh considers him to be the most honorable member of the team. He eventually falls in love with Lyan, who had often joked about feeding on him. They sire a half-human, half-wraith child who becomes under threat by both human and wraith forces from the Pegasus galaxy. Puck. He is a higher life form, an entity that predates the ancients and did not ascend but was born in the higher plane. He and his people are called the Fae. They have no hard rules about dealing with mortals because they often don't like going into the mortal plane. Being as old as they are, the ascended ancients can't do much to stop them if they wanted. Puck himself is curious about the mortal world. He has met Shakespeare helping him write A Midsummer's Night Dream and was nuisance to Merlin. It is revealed that his interest in the mortal world is due to his friend. Before the ancients were advanced and were still simple cave dwellers, Puck's friend and king of the Fae, Oberon, had a child with a human. It is discovered that Oberon is a major cause for the ancient gene. Oberon. He is one of the major antagonists of the show. His goal is to wipe out humanity so that he can return to the higher realm, often referred to as Avalon by the humans. He was sealed long ago by the ancients. He had a child with a human woman and stayed to watch his children grow for centuries, watching as they grew from cavemen to a mighty star-faring empire. When he grew bored of the mortal world and decided to leave, he discovered that he was trapped in the mortal plane. Due to his nature, his essence was spread out through humanity, and leaving was like tearing himself in half. He began to kill the ancients, and they locked him away, later to be rediscovered by N1. Well, if you got this far, tell me what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.